It's a really wonderful idea to make your own homemade tortillas. Sure, you can buy them from the store, but there's nothing quite like doing it yourself. All we need is some flour. Now, I've got plain wheat flour here, and I'm using about a cup of that. And then this other flour that I'm using is a white corn flour. It's not to be confused with corn flour. It's white corn flour. You can usually find white corn flour at specialty Asian food stores. If you're lucky enough to be able to find masa, that's the authentic Mexican flour that's used, then go for that, obviously. Alternatively, you can use all wheat flour, no problem at all. Now, what I'm going to do is just mix this up into a dough by adding enough water to just bring that flour together. Maybe a third of a cup. And just stir that around and see how moist or dry that is. Probably after the sort of consistency if you were making scones, if you ever do that. I can see that's a little dry, so adding a bit more water in there. And as we're working with the dough, you could add a little bit of extra flour if you need to, just like you do when you're making scones or bread, for example. That's come together nicely in a ball. That'll make us about 8 tortillas. Now, my specialty tortilla making machine, a flat-bottomed something or other. You can use a pot. I've got a great glass dish here. And my deconstructed shopping bag. So now I just pinch off a golf ball size piece of dough here. You can feel it's a little bit sticky, so don't be afraid to just add a little bit of flour and just knead it in your hands and then just slap it back and forward till it's kind of a little round, smooth disc. Woo! Onto my first sheet, cover it up with another one, and then we get our little dish and just apply as much pressure as you can. The human tortilla press. By pressing them as opposed to rolling them, you just get a really nice consistent circle going on, and it's quite a bit faster than rolling it out with a rolling pin. Carefully draw this top layer off, turn it over so you're just really loosening it from its grip on the plastic. And there we have our first tortilla. So then just rest that on the palm of your hand and that should slip off nicely. I'm going to fry these off in a fairly hot, dry pan. There's no oil or anything in there and you'd be surprised it doesn't stick. Leave that for 30 seconds on that first side and then give it a quick little turn. That's just the colour that we're looking for. Quite dark, even a bit blistered in some places. Now it can stay on this side just a little bit longer, enough time for that dough really to cook through. Keep adjusting your heat if you need to. Like I can see there's quite a lot of smoke coming on there, so I'm just adjusting that down. So it's sort of this nice little dance that you have with your tortilla. So once that's cooked through, we give it one more turn back onto its original side. You can see it starts to puff up. There it goes. And what that does is it sort of creates these two layers, a little bit like a pita bread, really. That looks done.